Play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. It's last hour of the day, at least for the East Coast. And tonight I've got a special guest star. Mudge, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Aero. For everybody listening, I will be our offlane specialist for the evening. I'll be watching and make sure we don't miss anything out there.
Yep, he's gonna interrupt me and say, hey, by the way, so-and-so is about to get killed, so I'm gonna do my absolute best to make sure that I pay attention to Mudge. I don't normally listen to him in the middle of the games, because usually he's just wrong, so... just kidding. I shouldn't say that. So, I've got the map bands. I want to make sure that we've got the teams on the right. Let's see... is that right? You are not... Yeah, they are. Okay. Random people joining. I think we're ready. Alright, yeah, so got the teams ready. So our first game is going to be on Alterac Pass. Looks like this was picked by... Who's team 2? So team 1. So sOaK eVeRy LaNe. I'm just double checking to make sure that I've got our map bands right, but let's go ahead and put that up. Do I have a ticker on this? I don't. Okay, great. Well, just this page. Whatever. So our map bands here from sOaK eVeRy LaNe. We've got the bands on Tomb of the Spider Queen and Cursed Hollow. And You Are Not Alone banning out Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire. And then again, as mentioned, sOaK eVeRy LaNe. Okay.
I'll take over for a moment. Alright, so our first ban is going to be coming out from You Are Not Alone. Let's see what they want to get rid of on Alterac Pass. It's a, pretty big map. Not a ton of camps to be had, just one on either side, but it is an impactful camp. And 2 bosses.
Yeah, arguably the mid lane camps are stronger than the bosses.
Can be if left undaunted amongst the big wave. It's going to be a sOaK ban.
I like the sOaK ban. There are a lot of narrow corridors here, so having the silence, also the massive shove, and the flailing swipe can be oppressive here on this map. Of course, that Oreo ban.
Is anybody? She is strong at the moment.
Mango Muffin, I'm here to watch Wipeout smash the competition like the god he is. Well, fair enough. I mean, somebody's got to win, right?
Somebody. Don't like the Garrosh either.
Garrosh...
Definitely know something we don't.
Yeah, Garrosh is a pretty strong hero in general. And it doesn't surprise me to see it banned out. I expect we'll see a Deathwing ban coming up here. Maybe?
Hey, that'd be fun to watch a Deathwing game, but... kind of doubt it's gonna happen. Ooh, no
Deathwing. I think Deathwing can be really strong here too, so I kind of expect it to get picked up. We'll see. And I owe Mr. Psychic some alpha time, so say hello to Mr. Psychic. They're alpha, yeah. Hey.
So will it be a first pick Deathwing? No, it'll be a gray main. So they're just going ahead taking the strong gray main. The strong in general, strong against Deathwing.
Almost
heads up pick.
Yeah, almost daring sOaK eVeRy LaNe to take the Deathwing now. It is. I mean, it still could be picked up by either side. You know, it is. It's definitely made it through drafts. I've seen it. You know, I've seen several drafts where they just completely ignored it. But because it's available, you still kind of have to draft with the potential of it making its way into this game. Just
That's exactly
kind of
what
like
they
with it.
just did, picking up the Leoric.
Yeah,
Each of them
exactly.
now have a great counter to Deathwing.
For Psychic, no L time. Not yet, buddy. Not yet. So to pair along with the Greymane, we're going to see the Rhaegar and Tyrael. Now, this could be a pretty aggressive comp. What do you think? Do we see a Bloodlust out of this?
You could. I mean, you could see a Bloodlust followed by, you know, a Tyrael dive. And he's got even more attack speed and move speed to give to the rest of the team.
Yeah, with that smite. Mega Muffin says, I feel like this game of chicken is about to end. Well, maybe. Could end with the ban even. It's going to be Uther being banned out, though. A lot of supports being banned out. And I really like the Uther ban, because Uther with that team would be pretty brutal there. A main tank Uther having Tyrael in the off lane. I could see that working.
Oh, ban in the head. All right.
There was some chat earlier today about letting through the hammer, so not a surprise to see the hammer getting banned out there.
Yeah, you don't want to come up against a skilled hammer, especially if you've got a full comp built around defending it. Although, if you Bloodlust, Tyrael Judgment, Greymane dive a hammer.
True. And in counter of the Greymane, we've got the Arthas and then Jaina to help slow down the team. So, you know, the slow from Jaina, I mean, again, if you go into Bloodlust, you basically just get normal movement speed, right? Essentially?
Essentially, I'd say, but
pretty close to it.
And essentially the same attack speed going into an Arthas.
And
yeah. It's not that you don't, you know, that you're not going to feel it. Blaze main tank, I would guess.
Yeah, could be. I mean, it could go either way, right? I mean, because Tyrael as the main tank brings the shielding and also that auto attack speed for Greymane. So it could be either one of those.
Blaze brings the much needed slows for Greymane's executioner.
And Ana, let's get that added in here.
For the Nano Jaina. Nano Icy Veins, she might just be a machine gun Jaina.
Could be. Now, you know, the other thing is, Eye of Horus on this map does get a lot of value too, because you have to run through pretty tight lanes to get away or even to engage. So if Ana can get a nice, comfortable position, she can get a lot of damage there.
It's true.
So, Mega Muffin, okay, no Deathwing. Yes, the game of chicken has ended.
Yep. No Deathwing from either team. I feel like it's one of those things where when you go Deathwing, it feels like an all-in bet in poker. And
a little bit, yeah.
It's a little daunting. It's a little daunting to push all those chips in.
All right, yeah, and okay, so, ladies and gents, who's gonna win game number 1? Vote in chat. At the top of your chat window there, you've got sOaK every lane on the left. You've got You Are Not Alone on the right. Who do you think's going to win? Select your option, hit vote, and watch as the tallies get counted there as we get into game number 1 here. And who do you want to introduce, Mudge? Pick a team.
I will introduce sOaK every lane.
All right.
So, we have Philip K on the Leoric, Key on the Ana, DMN, I'm going to call him Demon, on Raynor.
Ooh.
Strogs on Jaina, and Kid on the Arthas.
I like that. The 13 kind of fits into that too. I think you're right, Demon. Over here to the right, we've got You Are Not Alone, Majesty playing the Junkrat, Patience on the Rhaegar, Yonners on that Greymane, I Just Fizz playing the Tyrael, and Wipeout on Blaze. And we do have a train mount, but I'm just a spectator, so I can't say anything or complain about anything. Such is life. But let's take a look at talents. So the Jaina Raynor, a tried and true combination, pretty much just the same as like a PB and J. Has the Ace in the Hole and Frostbite, or Fingers of Frost, whatever it is. I always forget which one is the base talent and which one's the level 1. So that's pretty standard. You got the Howling Blast combo there for Arthas and the Sleep Dart build here for Ana so far. So I think that's all pretty standard. And then Assyrian's Renewal for Leoric. Is that, what do you think? Is that what you would take into a Blaze as a solo lane main Mudge?
It is. I like taking a scene's renewal. It just gives a lot of extra oomph if you're going deep into the enemy team, which may be what he's thinking of doing. That being said, Leoric up against Blaze, Leoric doesn't really have anything to fear. Blaze tickles him, and he's got all of the health regen he needs. It's easy to land those W's on Blaze.
All right, well, sOaK Every Lane getting the 2-1 in the votes here in chat. So we didn't actually get into the standings of these teams either. The standings of the teams here, pretty high here for You Are Not Alone. They've got 15 total points. They are currently undefeated. sOaK Every Lane currently 9th with 6 total points. So bold statement coming out from chat for sOaK Every Lane's support here.
Well, I mean, if you base it entirely on draft, I think you've got to like what sOaK Every Lane's got going on.
Yeah.
If they're able to peel off the aggressive dive, then I think that they're able to turn this around. Ooh, big pick coming out on Yonners.
That's going to be first blood. Getting that healing grenade in so that Greymane could not get any healing from Rhaegar made all the difference in the world, and a little bit of dot damage there as well from Ana.
Yeah, Ana securing that kill.
I was going to say, who actually got that kill credit? Was it Ana?
I'm not sure.
Trying to get to the kills.
It was
Oh,
Raynor.
you know what?
He got in black auto.
Okay. Why can't I would have thought that was on one of these things, but I guess it's not. Okay,
So
whatever.
off lane, we're having a pretty back and forth matchup. Wipeout using advantage of his E to charge away from Leoric every time he lands a W. So, you know, Blaze using it to his advantage. But you got Strogs low in the top. I think he's going to go down. Junkrat low here is himself. Might be a counter kill. Good 1-2 pickup.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed the first one, but we did get the counter kill there, so you know, good call on that. Leo though in the mid lane getting the rotation and falling very low. He's gonna have to heart the way. Now, neither team really committing in onto the prison camps just at the moment, focusing more on getting those level 7s. Although as I say that, Rhaegar sitting here on his way. Oh, the sleep dart coming from Ana, putting to sleep the Rhaegar. This might be a dead Rhaegar.
It is. And in the middle, we've got sOaK Every Lane's camp coming out on top, so we'll see what kind of damage they're able to do.
Yeah, and with that camp in the middle, with the kill onto Rhaegar now, sOaK Every Lane's trying to get in onto the prison camp. They're getting the stall from Junkrat, though. Junkrat can stall this out for just for ages.
Ooh, Ana gets pushed out. He's got good stall. He's got good stall, for certain.
So, of important note there, we do have Meltdown from Blaze, so he's going to be reducing the damage of anybody that's nearby when he uses that Pyromania. Now, he did use that a bit ago. Leoric was in a bit of trouble, too.
Maybe.
Yeah. Nice jet propulsion. They're going to get the kill on Jaina. Arthas might make it out. Uses the smite.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
They do get body block jumping in there.
They do get the counter kill onto Tyrael, but with a 3-for-1 trade there, that's going to give You Are Not Alone the opportunity to get right onto the prison camp. And these don't take long to charge. It's 30 seconds. I mean, the death timers are short, but it takes 10 seconds or so to get here.
Yeah.
Leroy getting booped away there. The root is going to hit a minion. And the Chattering Teeth is a great and fun talent. But you can get it to run into a minion.
It's true. It's true. If you can get it to jump onto one of yours, so it's better in defense than offense. But since there are no minions that run around here, you're really seeing the utility of Junkrat come out.
Yeah, you'll occasionally have those on the offense side, those shrine or the prison camp defenders, the guards. But yeah, exactly. Like if you're on the defense, like you said, it doesn't go anywhere. So level 10's picked up here for You Are Not Alone. So we're going to see them work on getting the point there. Anna not quite able to get that interrupt. So that's going to be the first cavalry going over to Yana. Yana?
Yonners?
Well, I was talking about You Are Not Alone, the acronym. Yana.
See. Yeah, they chose not to fight. It would have been nice if they were able to get 10 instead, but it's looking like maybe they'll get 10 mid right before the objective's able to get here, if they will. So let's look at ults. Coming out, nano boost. Oh, big fight coming out mid already. That was Entomb. Dropped.
Yeah, Jada used her water elemental as well, so they're gonna work on clearing this up. Even with that full 5, it is 5, yeah, 5 man in the middle, they weren't quite able to get the lockdown that they needed to secure a kill. So middle is gonna get cleared up. Jaina's gonna head up to top, but Jaina's now, she's toast, right? There's no way she makes it out of this.
Oh, the big heals coming out from Ana. Oh, the pushback on the... Well done on the side of sOaK every lane to save her there. That was a combination of Demon pushing back, the Riptire, and a couple of well-landed heals from Key.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
they do lose the fort,
lose the fort, and it looks like they're gonna bot fort as well.
Yeah, bot fort's pretty low, but You Are Not Alone electing to go in for the siege camp here and gather the sOaK in the mid lane as well. You're just so you know, you're getting I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you from my voice.
Tear myself down a bit.
Cool. Actually, you're turning me down. That's the important part.
Yep.
So a little bit of a lull here as You Are Not Alone's going to head up there into the top lane, pick up this top boss.
Doesn't look like it's going to get sniffed out by sOaK every lane. They might be looking at bottom boss, but Blaze has got eyes on him.
I think Leoric's just here expecting that they were going to try to look at bot boss, but they're rotating up and it's going to be way too late, right? Yeah, way too late.
They are, and I would have liked to have seen a gank on Blaze there if Philip was able to land an Entomb. Blaze can't get out of it, and they might have been able to secure a kill with the damage out of Raynor.
Quite possibly. And they do have the bunkers, so I mean, he could have potentially, you know, saved himself long enough. Bunker lasts for what, 4 seconds? 3 seconds? It doesn't say.
Boss, always a good move.
Yeah, and you know, normally the bosses here aren't going to get a lot of value, but they've already cleared out top, so this is going to keep wall damage. And bot boss, I mean, that certainly is going to get the bottom fort.
Especially if they push alongside it, which I would expect them to do.
Right. They've got a talent tier advantage now, sitting at 13 as well.
Go jumping out there to get those XP orbs.
Yep.
A little bit of danger. I do like that is added into the game.
Yeah, it got a little awkward for a little while, as you know, Blizzard had to get some feedback on, you know, what people thought about it, and the initial reaction was everybody hated it. But overall, I thought it was a good move. I think that it brings an extra level of awareness to experience in the game, and I don't think it, especially at this point, I don't think it's really any significant amount of difference than it was before. In fact, I think it makes it a little easier to gather that sOaK.
It does now. I honestly, I preferred it the way that they had it before they changed it. I think it's just one of those instances where a vocal minority passes judgment too quickly. I think you could have left it in, you know, for a full patch instead of caving at the 2-week period. But you know, it is what it is.
It definitely had a pretty significant impact on certain heroes, like, for example, Asmodan. So, you know, to a certain degree, I understand why they did it, but I agree. I think that, you know, it especially allowed solo laners to really showcase their skill a lot more so than they can do now. But Yana coming back in, they're going to get stalled out here as the siege camp is being picked up. And here comes the rest of the team. Oh, they do get the channel.
Yeah, the channel's already off. Got that claptrap, see, it's zoning them out of the top, and here comes the Riptide. That's huge damage on the entire team.
Yeah, and there's a concussion mine here too, so they've got to be careful. That could go off at any moment.
Right on top. Counter kill, but that's 2 down and objective.
Yeah, 2 for 1. I'm really surprised. I feel like Junkrat could have gotten at least 1 more kill, possibly 2 out of that, if he'd hit that concussion mine.
I think it just got lost in all the noise.
Yeah, a lot going on. Well, the Wolf Riders here coming in, and top's got to be dealt with. Bottom's going to have to be dealt with. Both of these are going to be coming right into this keep wall, and level 16's up for You Are Not Alone as well. So
looks like sOaK every lane's going to meet him head on in the middle, though.
I mean, you got to find a place to do it. So
they were up 4v5 as Yonners is rezzing in the back and now coming to join the fight. It does give them a bit of breathing room to clear these with some safety.
A little bit, yeah. So Jaina,
like, no keep will fall.
Not yet. Leoric's surrounded here. He's going to take a bunch of damage. He's going to be able to make it out, but Riptide's coming up into the top lane. Really just going to clear out the lane so that they can potentially continue to push, but it looks like they're focusing here on the mid.
Yeah, they're looking for a fight still, and but sOaK every lane's able to just stay behind the walls until they find 16, so...
I think that was a solid defense. I mean, sOaK every lane kept all of their keeps. They took minimal overall damage there. All things considered, that went really well for them.
Philip K on Leoric doing a good job distracting the enemy team because he's able to be safe. Oh, he just missed that Entomb. But, you know, Yonners could have jumped out even if he got caught initially. No silence on that Entomb yet.
Well, Blaze is looking for something, doesn't get the stun, but the root coming out onto Arthas, he's going to get some healing. And Leoric, rather, using that Wraith Walk upgrade at 13, Ominous Wrath, to just reduce the damage of the other team, and that's going to give now sOaK every lane the opportunity to catch up to level 16. And they got to deal with these lanes. They are so pushed in.
They are.
And the prison camp's coming up in 20 seconds.
And this is where Leoric's feeling the cost of taking Alcine Renewal, because he doesn't have Neil Peasants to instantly clear a lane. That being said, his wave clear is still solid.
Top boss is up. Let's see if sOaK every lane sniffs this out. Now, they do have Holy Ground. They do have Sanctification. So, this is, I mean...
Big fight here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot. Oh, and Concussion Mine. Well, Blaze is up in the front, drops the bunker for zoning. Holy Ground pushes Arthas.
He's able to stay on it, but it gets booped off. It's going to be a full contest, but Arthas goes down.
And the Concussion Mine eventually knocking Leoric off. They get the kill onto Ana here. Leoric falling as well. Jaina probably going to die to the Tyrael. The knockback here going to keep Demon alive, but the boss is going to make its way up here. And with the camp in the mid lane here, Raynor's going to have to just go kill this camp in the mid lane, because otherwise they lose two keeps out of this.
He's up and being channeled as well. sOaK every lane is in a very tough position.
It's going to be very difficult for them to defend the core with a full health boss coming in. This mid keep is down. They are going to be up to be able to defend it, but at this point, I mean, yeah, Yana's heading to the bot lane. They're going to work on this bottom keep, and if they get all three of these down and have the objective, I mean, that's just going to be game. It's already very low here, 16k. The boss is still sitting at a third health now.
They could jump in, but it looks like they're going to play it safe and wait for objective to give them a hand.
Yeah, they're going to get this siege camp just to help with that, because, I mean, why not, right? Getting the armor penetration And these cavalry are coming right onto the core. There's no pressure from these minion waves at all.
LaNe, you've got to pick the fight here now before they even get here.
Exactly.
You need to fight the enemy team right here, right now.
And I don't think they can do it with a level 20. You know, you've got Holy Arena here for Tyrael, so he's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll do extra damage. Rip Tire upgrade, so this is going to be reset. Oh, he gets killed.
Rip Tire. He doesn't get it off.
Leoric's got to be...
a ton of damage here. He's going to survive. There's the bunker.
Leoric trying to slow down the damage, though, with that Ominous Wrath, but here's the first cavalry going to make it to the boss here. Holy Ground's going to go out, zone out, split out the team a little bit here, but they're pulling back. They don't have a whole lot of health on the Arthas here, but the core's just dropping so fast with 3 cavalry here, all on the core. Going to be game number 1.
Yep. In there, I mean, you get a solid team fight out, but in the end, it didn't make a difference either way that went.
Yikes. So 6 kill to 11 in that. Overall, you know, the beginning of that game felt like it was pretty balanced. sOaK eVeRy had a good couple of team fights there, got a couple of quick kills, and then around the level 10 mark, you know, it just kind of went all in You're Not Alone's favor. And I don't even feel like it was ultimates that necessarily did that, you know?
No, I think it was more of the timing of the ultimates. I mean, when you've got 10s and it gives you first objective, and then first objective gives you forts and it gives you map control, and that map control then spiraled into 2 bosses, which then spiraled into more forts, and it just, everything just continued to pile on to sOaK eVeRy, and they had to go out on a limb to attempt something, you know, that isn't ideal, and it just puts you in a really, really tough spot, unfortunately. So many things can spiral out of control there, and I just think that by the time that they ever got their footing, there was just one more thing piling on them, which is good macro play. Out of You Are Not Alone.
Absolutely. Yeah, playing the map, keeping the maps, the camps, and the pressure up in those lanes. And again, I mean, the timing of those level 10s really helped a lot. They allowed them to get those bosses. But, I mean, let's not forget, really, it was the awareness, or as I don't want to necessarily say the lack of awareness, from sOaK eVeRy. They weren't there at the top boss, right? That was a long time. There were only 3 of them up there. Blaze wasn't there. It was just Rhaegar, I think, Tyrael, and Greymane. It was either Rhaegar, Tyrael, and Greymane, or Rhaegar, Junkrat, and Tyrael. There's only 1 DPS. So it was a long time. It took them a while to get that, and you know, they just didn't see that, and it cost them. Cost them both bosses, really.
It's true. I mean, like I said, they could have attempted for the counter kill on the Blaze. It's what they were set up for, and I think Leoric wanted to do it, but it just didn't. It just didn't work out for him. So you're right. Pro heavy map now coming on to Sky Temple. Yeah,
so let's take a look at these maps here. So our bans here at the beginning from sOaK eVeRy were on Cursed Hollow and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Those were from sOaK eVeRy. You Are Not Alone banned out the Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire. Game number 1 was picked by sOaK eVeRy. It was the Alterac Pass, won by You Are Not Alone. And game number 2 is going to be Sky Temple, picked by You Are Not Alone.
Yep, we'll see how it all works out.
All right. Well, you know what? I mentioned earlier those standings. Let's take a look here at the standings in Division B-West. So right now, You Are Not Alone is tied points-wise for Phoenix, Rising, Onyx. Now, technically, of course, they just got a point. So that puts them ahead. But I believe Phoenix, Rising, Onyx has played one more match, rather. Devil Keg's right behind them with 14 points as well. sOaK Every Lane sitting at the number 9 spot, so they're looking to kind of make their way up there. And with as kind of staggered as these teams are in general, if they can get 2 points, that'll tie them up with Roll One Esports and Spooky Ghosts. So, hey, you want to say hi to everybody? Roar! Say hi to everybody. You good? You good? All right, there we go. All right, Alpha's going to go ahead and just going to do the cast for now. Hope nobody minds that. We do have one player who is AFK. Let's see. How you feeling about this? You okay? She's like, dude, what are you doing to me? All right, all right. I think that Rex gotten his time. Here, do you want to go to your bed? Cool. There you go. Mudge, are you back?
I'm right here.
Cool. All right. Because it sounds like one team is ready. And we maybe
Calls out to both teams.
We're ready. All right, letting them know that we're ready, so we should be good to go here. So Sky Temple, a very different setup here in a lot of ways than what we just saw. What do you think about their chances here?
Well, you've got multiple objectives, so it creates more of a skirmish rather than a full team fight comp if you want to run it that way. So I'd expect to see maybe some ball stats, some globals come out, but it also means that one-on-one matchup between the off lanes is that much more important. It's more likely that you end up in that scenario. So it's just a question of how do you build 2- and 3-man advantages, and how do you commit your resources to this, that, or the other. Camp timing also a very important point on this map.
Yeah, that camp timing can be really critical to helping the solo lane get some additional push, and of course getting walls down, getting wells down makes it that much easier for your solo laner to push against the enemy solo laner.
It's true, and with it being Sky Temple, every single piece of structure damage you're able to get out just empowers what those objectives do, because those temples got to eat through everything in order sequentially. So you take a wall down, instead of temple getting a wall, temple gets a fort.
So we've got Rhaegar and Greyman being banned out here, so that leaves up the Ariel, leaves up the ETC that were banned out, and oh, by the way, Deathwing's gone.
Some quick bans coming out. People knew what they wanted this time around.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Ariel is going to get picked up. I mean, if you don't take it, even if you don't play it, you're giving it over to the other team. Could be a little scary. He's gonna pick it up.
Not a huge surprise.
No.
I mean, Oriel certainly isn't undefeated, but she does have I think she's got a really high win rate. So, you know, high enough that she should be at the top of the choices here. We're going to see Alarak and ETC, and I don't want to make any comments about this combo because, you know, all I'm saying is hopefully Yonners doesn't telekinesis anybody out of an ETC mosh. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I just wanted that kill for myself instead of giving credit.
Dance party mid lane. All right, so we're going to see Sonya going to be the pickup here from Philip K. Strong solo laner, and especially in the more recent, I don't know, month or so, since she got a couple of slight upgrades to her kit.
Yeah, she got a little more health, and she got a whirlwind damage increase, a minor one, like 4%, but since it translates into more healing for you, you know. But honestly, I feel like it was warranted to keep her relevant in her place. Sonya's got her strengths and weaknesses. They're pretty clear cut, and so, you know, there's so many good counters to Sonya that if you don't bring them
Uther?
on board, you should be punished for it.
This is an Uther ban, right? Oh, it's a Jaina ban. So do they take the Uther, right? Maybe?
I would expect so. It's a good Sonya counter.
And it works well with the ETC
Yes, it does.
and the Alarak.
Rexar, all right. Rexar into Sonya, not bad. That's a skill matchup.
Right. Yeah. Can you get your... So when she goes to Whirlwind, can you use that Misha charge?
Right. And can you bait enough damage into Misha to force Rexar to come up feeling safe and then save your spear for him? So,
Yeah. I should probably get these typed in here. What about into Mosh? No, we don't do any of that. That's not allowed.
That's too difficult, you know, really.
Yeah. Last
okay,
pick here.
Mirrodin. So we've got a big solo tank up front, the 4-man, with Bala Ming being very squishy in the back line, but Bala obviously a great battery for Ari.
So the other thing that we kind of have here, we have kind of an interesting setup. So both Sonya and Muradin are kind of your dive tanks, right? They want to be up in people's faces up front, as opposed to, say, for example, a Johanna, who is going to be a little bit farther back.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Li Ming's pretty far away, but Vala's kind of exposed if the Muradin and Sonya try to go ham.
It is. That being said, with the way that You Were Not Alone played in game 1, it looks like they'll just be piling their whole team into the enemy, and but you also have 3 silences on the side of You Are Not Alone. If they're able to stack those up well, it could end very rough for sOaK every lane.
Not only the 3 silences, you also have 2 stuns in the form of a charge and a power slide. You also have a potential mosh pit, and you don't see this often enough, but you could see like a flailing swipe setting up for a mosh pit. If the sToaK is positioned in the right place, it could happen. So
Could happen. All right. So on the side of sOaK every lane, we have Demon playing the Bala, Key on the Ariel, Strogs on Li Ming, Kid on Muradin, and Philip K on the Sonya.
all right, and over here for You Are Not Alone, we're gonna have Yonners playing the Alarak, Majesty on the Sylvanas, Patience on the sToaK, I Just Fizzed on the ETC, and Wipeout on Rexar. And there are certain names out here that that every time I say them, like I'm announcing the team, I'm just like, yeah, that's why you did it. By the way, poll is up in chat, guys. Do that thing again. But yeah, I Just Fizzed every time. I Just Fizzed on the ETC. Yep. All right. Sweet Buns on the Mal'Ganis. That's another one. Speaking of ETC, gonna get the knockback and kill onto the Vala. I don't want to say I was right, but I did kind of call that.
Li Ming now, kind of pushed out. Oof.
Oh, missed on the silence, but it's not gonna matter. ETC nearly falling into the towers, though.
Shutdown from Majesty on the tower to save ETC from dying. That was impressive. No, I don't know if it was intentional, but it was impressive.
I mean, it had to be, right? You had to push that D button, and they were disengaging, so
Gosh.
that's really solid awareness about the... Oh, shoot. You're supposed to be paying attention to that.
I watched every bit of it. So the way it goes down, I mean, it's just a QW knockback into a telekinesis pool, put down the silence. Same exact thing. I mean, they're diving towers. That time they didn't have Sylvanas to keep ETC from, throwing himself to the wolves. So you'll get that counter kill XP as well, but it's still a display of dominance.
Yep. And realistically, I mean, that's what they're going to have to be mindful of here. The stuns from Muradin are going to have to be kind of preserved to make sure that you can zone for the Vala. I mean, if they're going to be able to telekinesis their way past you and power slide past you to get onto those squishy targets, you got to find a way to defend them, because they don't have a lot of defenses themselves. You are not alone coming in with all 3 of the votes here. And the tanks kind of hanging out in these bushes, both of them. Just watching the whole thing unfold.
Meanwhile, in top lane, you're going to see Rexar be able to keep hold of Vision pretty much constantly because he's got 2 bodies. That being said, Sonya has the wave clear advantage, so she'll be able to jump up and down, do what she's got to do. Looks like they're going to go ahead and take that bruiser camp.
Oh, Sonya.
It's going to be Vala. Vala and Ariel taking it.
Yeah, Sonya tried to use her spear over the wall, missed, and then was just like, yep, okay, I'm going back.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm a level 100 plus Sonya. Sometimes it still happens to me.
Well, there you go. On the right side here, we've got You Are Not Alone working on theirs as well between the Sylvanas and Stukov. So we are going to have bruiser camps going for both sides here as level 6. Let's show this here. We do have the... So Unfurling Shadow is sitting at 11 stacks. Not super great. But they haven't had a whole lot of, extended team fights either. Merc Queen the pick, so with Sylvanas up here in the top lane, they're going to be able to burn through this bruiser camp. It doesn't have any support. And it looks like we're going to see Yana go in top lane for the top temple there, and sOaK every lane into the middle temple.
It's worth noting here that despite the kills that came out really early in the game, EXP is still pretty even here. The only reason they're ahead is because they cleared top lane while sOaK every lane has not yet.
Right. So the Discord Strike missing Sonya, so she's able to spin to win for a little bit of extra time there. Stormbolt coming out from Murden onto ETC, so ultimately a short delay on the point.
Or victory, Sonya going back in. Big stun coming out on Yonners, but looks like he's going to be able to walk away because ETC was able to peel the rest of the damage from getting to him.
Yeah, and they really want to find the combination of like a Muradin stun and then a Detainment Strike from Urel, she's not in this game, Oriel, to make sure that they have that consistent, strong lockdown on a hero. And if they can do that, if they can chain those stuns, they should be able to get kills pretty easily then, but they have to be able to lock the heroes down.
And with 3 silences, it's going to be difficult to do that consistently without getting interrupted, especially with an ETC knockback being an instant just click and you're done.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you see the difference between bruiser camps in top. Since Merc Camp 1 for the side of Yana, they're able, that temple takes top fort. Meanwhile, in middle, all you got was the wall and some damage.
Well, our squishy's up playing the front line here between Vala and Li Ming, right into a whole group of You Are Not Alone, because they are not alone. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Sonya having a tough time in this top lane.
Well, it's definitely going to be harder for her now that she has nowhere to retreat to, no healing well, but big damage coming out on Vala once again, getting that full combo from the Alarak. Can't vault away if you're silenced.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you had Kid. I mean, when Alarak walks.
Hold up, Philip K here in the middle is going to get knocked back and pulled into the Alarak combo, and that's going to be a nice kill right as we get level 10. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. Those advantages are starting to build. You got silences coming out, double silences on Kid, knock back into it. He's able to jump over the wall. Good escape there. Way to save it. We got big pressure coming out top. That's a lot of XP. I'd imagine Sonya's going to head that way. I'd honestly like to see a counter push in top here. I think that's your only real option.
Yeah, trying to get the level 10 especially.
Yeah. Li Ming to go top and clear the lane instead of Sonya. Which takes away from their team fight potential, and it's going to make Li Ming be gone for longer. She doesn't clear. She's coming down. Looks like they're looking for a fight with 10. Could be a big deciding factor if they're able to win it.
Yeah, so we do have that resurrection. Also, Wave of Force is going to help to at least reduce the impact of a silence here. But Muradin already at half health. Big power slide coming in. We got the mosh pit knocked away.
Silence. Sonya never had a chance.
Muradin jumping out there. They do have a full hope bar if they can get the heal. They do. Unleash the Boars coming out. Massive shove missing. Sylv getting very low, but able to get away, especially with the biotic pustule thing from Patience. So they still have the Sonya pretty far away here. Sylvanas is going to try to get the rest of the bottom temple going, so they can pull back now.
Or the push in top lane. In favor of the team fight. There's the leap on the ETC.
Full Alarak combo coming in onto Li Ming, and surprisingly no deaths there. That was actually a whole lot of just miscellaneous stuff, but the siege camp is coming out here on the side of sOaK every lane, but they're all so low, they're pulling back, tapping, hearthing, except
out on Aero. That was bad. Bad place to rotate to. I don't even think you can use Resurrect here. Will they camp the body to see if she's gonna pull it?
Yeah, they can kind of hang out, especially now that they're going for this boss. At this point, there's no real reason to resurrect. Yeah.
And in that last fight down bottom, you just had a bit of a unfortunate circumstance. We took Poison Spear on Sonya, so when she leapt in, she was looking for the Poison Spear onto Sylvanas, but Wave of Force came down and caused the Poison Spear to miss after her leap. Would have been a kill, but one of those things. Ooh, Stroke's out. Oh, she blinks away. Biz didn't attempt it, but you got big push in bottom now. It's going to require probably a 5-man answer with Philip coming down. Talent here in favor of Yana, and let's see how they do here.
Yeah, and they've got a Sylvanas, so they're going to shut those towers down. Leap coming in onto 3 of 4.
The zone from the boss stun was just unfortunate. Once again, they weren't able to really follow up on it. All had to go back.
Well, the one tower is going to fall, the wall as well, so second tower probably dies to the boss, I think. Yep. Yeah, there it is. That's still pretty high value.
A lot of value bottom.
Yeah.
Which is big, but while you don't see a ton of value coming out onto the actual keep, they had Rexar out soaking, which just increased the level lead.
And at this point, either temple goes to the same point if you're Yana, whereas for sOaK every lane here, they want to try to at least get this mid fort down.
Right.
That's why they're on this mid point here. It's also most
aren't too bad either way. I think mid'll still be up if the only damage they get on it is from the temple.
Yeah, it'll be pretty close, I think. Probably about half or less. Leap going out.
And here's the follow-up, stuns, and they executed well onto the Stukov there.
That's exactly what they needed. Like, getting the kill onto Stukov is huge for them. They're still going to lose bot, though. The temple, at least. And yeah, the pressure in top and bot lane is going to... It's got to be addressed. And they have to be somewhat careful about it, too, because if they leave, they lose the temple, or they expose themselves to risk, which is exactly what You Are Not Alone was looking for there, trying to catch that rotation on their way down to the bot lane.
Well, to evade it, maybe by a hair's breadth, but they're still in this game, although they're still down an entire level, so they have to look for another pick here, I think. And Yana,
this is the place to do it.
This is the place.
Stukov's not here
right now. Stukov's here. And there it is. Another big pickup.
Yeah, that was an absolutely perfect play. Sonya identifying the leap target of Sylvanas. The Rain of Vengeance coming down as well. So
follow up kept her from using her Banshee's Wail to get out of there.
And that's a staggered death. So the challenge here is that there's not much for sOaK every lane to do except to sOaK every lane.
Exactly. You know, they've just got to play to their strengths.
Exactly. BMid asked the bot keep health. It's sitting at a cool 11,400.
Uh-oh. Oof.
Well, that's unfortunate. Now, we might even see another kill here if Sonya's not careful, which she is able to pull back.
Resurrect. I don't know if... Yep, here comes the Resurrect. 16s are up. Sylvanas is here, though. So it's going to be a... Oh, Philip. Ooh, they let Philip get out of there. If Philip gets CC'd there, that's another kill.
So we got top and bottom temples, and now mid fort is gone for sOaK every lane. So bottom temple leads to a keep 100% for certain.
Yep, the action's currently in top, so we'll have to see. I think want to wait for 16. A little bit of damage out on Murid, and Philip jumping the gun, getting silenced. They're looking for a fight over this camp. I'm not sure it was worth it, being down a tier. Philip's gonna fall with ETC stunning the back lane. Kid going down as well.
Vala might.
Perhaps deep.
Yeah, she wasn't. They didn't have any more follow-up. They just had the one silence there from the Alarak. So with the Bruiser camp, they're going to be able to push this in. They've got Sylvanas to shut down towers. Probably the Black Arrows have run out by now. But even still, I don't see any world where this keep doesn't die.
Oh, it's going down for sure. And, you know, that makes it just that much more unfortunate because now you can split, take either temple with full confidence, commit all your resources just to one objective, and you force, I mean, you kind of force a full team fight. You can split and just run from whichever fight sOaK every lane brings it to.
I think ideally they go for bot because they can also take a boss.
Right. They're leaving ETC up here now. If Sonya's able to leap him, I'm not sure he gets away.
That's a great play. I mean, ETC becomes the bait so that they can get this boss. They can run down and grab the temple shots pretty easily. ETC knows where everybody's at. They're chasing him, so they essentially get a free boss. ETC's going to get the slide onto Sonya, but he's not really in a position to get follow-up. But the Alarak is...
Just had so much time. The Resurrect's coming out. I think she's going down unless she leaps out. She leaps kind of still in it, but the 3-man stun on the back line from ETC just prevented any help from coming her way. But ETC goes down for it, so...
There's still a boss going on to their keep, however, and a big Alarak combo here onto Muradin and Oriel. But by the way, Sylvanas trying to get in the flank and is going to get taken out by the team. They do have some pretty decent mobility on the side of sOaK every lane.
sOaK every lane's DPS coming out strong here. Kid being aggressive, wants to bring it to him, as he should. I'm not sure how much core damage boss gets here. You would like to go ahead and take temples and ignore it, and I think maybe you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, these catapults are actually doing a lot of work onto it, so it probably will get a very small amount. Oh, maybe not. Sonya's up. She probably finishes it off. So, yeah, no boss damage. No core damage.
Now you want to split. You want to leave maybe just one person, or all 5 of you rotate to the top lane to contest where you know they're going, because you can't give really any of this objective away. You've only got one more chance to fight before they're 20.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, these temples, the forts and keeps are a health bar for them. It's a limiting factor. So we're going to see them sOaK every lane, focusing here on the bot.
Majesty by herself, if she steps up and they force this, they could get a pick, but they're backing off.
Yeah, and they're going to lose all of the top temple here, so Stukov able to stand on that for long enough for that to take place. And that's going to get the mid keep here down to about 20% health. So any kills, and this is gone, and then a temple wins the game.
Got Torbus. We've got the root coming out for Rexar's ult. We've got Hasty Bargain on Alarak, Bolt of the Storm on Sylvanas, and top off on Stukov. So 20's out, 20's a big. They're going to force mid keep here, which is a tough fight. I think you maybe just even have to give it and defend it core.
That's the way it looks right now.
Run to top and gank the Sonya.
Yeah. She's a little far forward. She does have the leap, so she can get out of some danger. They're gonna grab the bruiser. Maybe not gonna grab the bruiser camp. They're gonna split the team.
It, but the call to kill Sonya was just a little too late there. They're playing it a bit conservatively by taking this bruiser camp. They're giving sOaK Lane time to get to 20.
And sOaK Lane, I mean, they're having difficulties because the bot lane is so far pushed out from what they did earlier that they can't soak every lane. They can only soak top and mid. Top now is a little dangerous. Almost caught the Vala. She did get that vault away here. And they're the level 20s. So this could be... I don't think this is the last fight. I don't think that they want to take this.
5-man lead coming in. Did a follow-up. Oh, but the stuns out. Instant Rain of Vengeance. That was huge. Pushing into the Alarak now. Alarak taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down as well. They do lose the keep. Are they able to chase this out with the resets? Rexar, is it going to go down? Do we have anything from Uridan? There's the stun. Ming's still out here. That's another reset.
And Sonya's clearing the back here. So a triple kill. They've only got Sylvanas and Stukov.
Yep.
They have to cover top. Right? They have to keep the top temple, but yeah, they need to push a lane and just go win this game. Like,
absolutely.
They're gonna go. It looks like they're gonna go for the temple.
Or Cat is in bottom. You've got to answer that. I think you leave one person back on top temple. You put some damage onto that wall with the other 3 members of your team, so that this temple takes keep, and maybe you're able to force another fight immediately afterwards, snowball it into a victory.
Right now, that's not where it's going. Right now, they're just clearing up the lane. They didn't want to be too aggressive, which is too bad. I mean, they had a 5 versus 2 potentially, so they really did have the potential. And Vala keeping her vengeance stacks or hatred stacks up, but you know, those walls are very helpful for Oriel, and you know, taking that wall out seems like a minor thing, but that could be a stun that she could have used.
Look how low it is.
Yep. And had they just done the most insignificant amount of damage there, it could have been fine. But now
up for a boss finish here. A little dangerous, a little scary on the side of sOaK Lane. I'm not sure you want, or on the side of Yana, I'm not sure you want this. I could spiral out of control and lose this fight.
They have a lot of CC. They've got displacement, but there's a resurrection, and we saw how much value sOaK Lane got when they were able to land that 5-6 man leap there. And these level 20s too. Sonya's got a little bit more survivability. It's level 20 resurrection, so the cooldown is potentially half. And those people are getting out. They're moving 200%. So
playing the waiting game, which is what you want to do if you're Yana, because you've got all the pressure. You have all the pressure in every lane. The longer you're able to just sit here, the more that top pushes out, the more bot pushes out. You're falling back to get a bruiser camp to spiral that even more. So you have the advantage. You just gotta be patient.
And sOaK Lane needs to recognize that they're not here. They've got to find a way. There you go. Getting some of this vision here, but now they lose this boss, and they waited too long. These temples come up, and again, either one of these temples wins the game. Both of these temples,
you've got to force a fight here.
Wins it fast.
Fight.
Yeah, they have to basically ignore that camp, force the fight, go top, and win the game. And they're just taking way too much time to do it.
Yep, and Yana is spreading. They're putting Bear on bottom, which is smart. And, you know, they're going to take top lane. With the push you've got coming in, that's 4 catapults. I mean, that might finish on its own, regardless of how this goes. There's the leap, though, on the Yonners. Big silence is coming out, preventing anything. Rain of Vengeance stopping the
mosh pit,
but comes the Resurrect. She's coming right back into the fight. Ooh, quick onto the Sylvanas. You see its power. And looks like ETC's going to go down, but you've got 4 Katas on the core, and that's going to finish it.
Yep. And that was, you know, that was sOaK Lane just kind of playing themselves there. They didn't recognize the win condition that You Are Not Alone had. sOaK Every Lane really came into their own at level 20, had put themselves into a position to potentially win this game. They just had to find the right fight, and they just kind of stalled it out and didn't get that opportunity.
Well, you got to give them some credit, though. They really did. They showed that they have the team fight potential, that they have the skills. In the late game, once they got it all together, they adjusted to the silence and the early game power of You Are Not Alone. But You Are Not Alone just showing that they know how to position themselves. They know how to play that macro. They know how to use the maps to their advantage, and they're going to come away with a 2-0 domination here.
All right. Let's head over to Lobby 5 here real quick, as that's where we're going to have our interview. In the NGS chat. All right. Hello, Majesty. Welcome.
Hello.
So, congratulations there on your victory there. 2-0 over sOaK Every Lane. How you feeling after that victory there?
Good. Still working down the nerves from it.
There were definitely some moments there where it looked like, sOaK Every Lane was starting to spark some life at the end of that game. And I have to say, you guys played it calm and patient. How, you mentioned about kind of calming down. How nerve-wracking was the end of that game? That second game?
A little bit. It was, it definitely had its moments for sure. Took a 16 that I thought was going to help, and after taking it, didn't like it as much as the normal one I go, and then, everyone decided to die for mid-keep, so there was that too.
Yeah, that was a big heads-up play, Sonya seeing the clump and the 20s coming out. I did want to ask about the decision-making going into that final, well, it wasn't the final fight, but the final real big fight, where you guys had 20 and they were about halfway through level 18. What was the team talking about? What were y'all trying to call?
This was the one where she got the big leap?
It was.
All right. Right as she started the leap, we were saying, don't clump for leap. And then we were discussing shifting from maybe going core to getting the mid keep and then leaving.
I see.
Which is what we end up getting, along with a bunch of death.
So game number one.
Game, but you played it well.
Yeah. So game number one was Alterac Pass. This was, I believe, it was their map pick. And so, you guys kind of eked out level 10 and then just never looked back. So what did you guys do, and in what ways did you guys prepare overall for this team to make sure that when you go into this comp? Because honestly, I have to say that in the beginning there, I liked their draft a little bit more overall. Not to say that you guys had a bad draft; it was fine, obviously. But like once you guys got to 10, it was just like there was nothing that could be done. You just kind of walked all over the map at that point. So what was it that you guys did differently than they did for that?
I'm not 100% sure. They're what they were looking for was pretty telegraphed. It was clearly the Entomb into Nano Boosted Ring, or they didn't went Water Elliot at the end. But it was clearly just they were looking for Entomb blowups with Nano Boost. They didn't really have much engage beyond Leoric trying to Ghost Walk up and Entomb. So knowing that, we just kind of played around Leo the whole post 10 game.
I don't think anybody got Entombed that whole game, did they?
They might have had one, but it didn't result. I think they landed one, but we just sanked it right away.
Oh yeah, you're right. There was one at the end. That's right. So, and you guys got the double boss play there. At the time, Blaze was in the mid. One of your DPS, or I'm sorry, Blaze was bot. One of your DPS was in the mid, and I thought it was Junkrat. Yeah. So they, clearly didn't sniff it out. What was communication like at that point? Was there any potential that you thought they might be coming at all? Because I think most of them were. I think there were 2 or 3 of them out of vision, like they were hanging out near their camp and then went toward bottom when you guys were top.
So while we were going for the top camp, we had top fort at that point, and that wave was basically pushed up to their keep. So we had vision of almost that whole lane, So knowing that, we have sync. We didn't quite have holy ground yet. We might have had holy ground at that time, and it was just we had so much vision of that lane because of all the waves moving around in it and having it so far pushed up. We felt like we would have seen them coming, so we just kind of went for it.
Yeah, at least the first boss, you guys did not have the holy ground. The second one you did, and that just turned into a giant cluster of various abilities that ended up going in your favor. Mudge, what other questions do you have?
Well, I suppose my my only other question I'd have for the team is, do you guys feel more comfortable on those macro heavy maps, or is there any sort of, do y'all try to stay away from team fight maps, or is that just what we saw tonight?
That's just what you saw tonight. Honestly, I think we just kind of like fighting more than anything, but we're not scared of the macro. So we ended up going macro tonight, but we've played too, and we've done BOE and stuff. We're not afraid of team fighting.
I just commented on it because y'all certainly had that edge, and it showed big in both games tonight. So.
Good deal. Well, Majesty, the question that I like to wrap up with is just, was there any particular moment tonight that you felt was a highlight moment, whether it was something you did, your team did, or the opponents did? Anything specific you wanted to kind of showcase?
The one thing that really kind of stuck out, the one play that I kind of saw that just kind of stuck, even though it probably was something that most people missed, because it was kind of a tiny thing, but we all saw it and all thanked the honors for it. Basically, when we were going to steal their bottom siege camp on Alterac, there was a time where they went for the solo and 2 on Greymane right as he pressed E to jump on the camp. And so he actually jumped the wall at the very second it went up. And it basically, we had been playing around Entomb around that section the whole time. And as soon as that Entomb went out, we're like, oh, we have like 50 seconds that we can do something here.
Yeah, actually, Mudge did call that out. I don't think I quite got it on stream. I think I was just a little bit above that. But he did call that out, so it might have just barely been caught there. So that was one of those clutch moments. BMed actually calling that out in chat as well. So that was a good moment for sure. So cool. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Any shout outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to Lily, of course, our team's #1 fan. Even though she always watched the POV stream, because I know you asked that last time.
That's right. Yep.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to sOaK for good games. Shout out to Key for subbing for him. Key was actually kind of the reason me and Patience at least have been trying to aim to get to B, was to kind of have fun and face off with Key. And then this season we make it to B, he drops the C. So
what a jerk.
It was good that he got to step in and sub, so we at least got our match against him. Shout out to NGS and shout out to you two for casting. Thank you. We're here to take Div B.
Right on. Well, you guys are certainly doing really well at this point, currently undefeated in B-West. Yeah, so well done there. What do you think about the rest of the season here going forward? Are you guys pretty confident for what you've got to face left in B-West?
We have tomorrow's team training wheels, Sunday is pro, next Friday is Necromurgle?
Necrofin.
Necrofin, yeah. I knew it was something like that. And then the week after that is Deviled Kegs. So not out of the hot water yet. Definitely some solid teams still coming up. But we've already started prep on all of them, so not too scared yet.
Sure. Yeah, definitely some teams. So, Phoenix Rising Onyx tied with you guys before tonight in points, if not necessarily in total match score. Deviled Keg's not far behind you guys as well. So those just should be some exciting games to watch. And are you guys keeping track of what's going on the east side of the division at all? Is that of interest to you at all, or not until you get to the playoffs?
Not till the playoffs. There's no point in scouting. Was there 11 teams on that side of the bracket too?
Maybe 12 or 13. I think there's 12.
12.
Yeah,
that's a lot of teams to scout to face one of them if we even make it there. So we'll just cover that bridge when we get closer, I think, is what we're planning on right now.
Makes sense.
Aren't you the top of it? Is that what you were asking?
You know, I was asked. I do ask that from occasion. We are on the top of B East, but that's not the specific reason why I'm asking. Just some teams do ask, or some teams do look more like. I know, for example, like Deviled Kegs is watching some of the teams on the East side, and certainly, I mean, if I get a chance to watch some of the B-West teams, I'm going to do it, right? So.
Yeah, like it's not like we've gone out of our way to not see B East. It's just at least I haven't had a chance to see anything. And
sure,
this Thursday will tell. As in B East, number 1 plays number 2.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, just like number 1 and number 2 on. You said, was it Thursday or Sunday? You play pro Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Yeah, so this is a big week for Division B here. So we'll have to see if we can't make sure somebody picks that up on Sunday. So
I think it's later. What's the time? Hold on, let me check the Discord here.
If it's late enough, I could probably pick it up myself.
8 p.m. West. Wait, 8 p.m. Western. So it's 11 o'clock still.
Okay, so the same. Yeah, so that might be feasible then. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us here, Majesty. Really appreciate you stopping by. And again, congratulations. Don't forget to report your match, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. All right, so Mudge, that's going to wrap us up here for the night.
Yep, sounds good. Appreciate you having me on as co-caster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shotgun.
It was good to have you here. So, oh, B-Med's clipping it. He said there were actually 2 different moments with that Greymane dive out. So cool. Thanks for clipping that, B-Med. So I think what we're going to do is gonna send everybody over to our good friend Bahamut, as he is casting Can't Counterpick Stupid versus Team Rainbow Strike Go, which looks like it's a nail biter. So we're gonna go ahead and pass you over to that now. Thanks everybody for joining us, and have a great night.
Enjoy yourselves, people.